Alrighty. Let's do this thing. This has just really not been the surface to spin this. I wonder if I should spin it like over on this. That was better, but not a good spin. Oh, it flattened out a little bit. Okay, that's better. I'm here to just talk, since I am a media reviewer, I'm going to talk about media that has nothing to do with board games. Let's get into this. I have recently finished the first Dune book, which ended abruptly, more abruptly than I would have expected for like a narrative conclusion to an epic book like that. But it does seem like it will naturally lead into the following books, which I'm excited to look into. I really liked the book. It's definitely not for everyone, the style of writing that it is. It's like third person omniscient, so you're always able to hear everybody's thoughts or see into their thinking behind what they're saying at all points. Even if it's like kind of the focus is on one character, you'll have these intrusions of these other characters' thoughts in the same scene. So it's very distinct from what a lot of like modern fantasy and I think a lot of modern fiction does, where they do like the chapter by chapter focuses on individual characters, like, you know, Game of Thrones and Wheel of Time and Brandon Sanderson. All of those kind of go from the perspective of usually like one character for an extended period of time. And I really liked it, though. I liked it a lot. It did exactly what I wanted it to, which is after I watched the movie, after I watched Dune, you know, part one from Denis Villeneuve, I was very curious about two different distinct parts of that world. I wanted to know more about the Bene Gesserit, and I wanted to know more about the Fremen. And both of those were explored in much more depth in the book, so I was very satisfied because I kind of got what I wanted out of it. And it was also just a very interesting sci-fi exploration, sci-fi epic. It did what I wanted it to narratively, and it was exciting to kind of see the thinking of all of the characters. And you just get a lot more depth and nuance in what the characters believe, what they feel, why they do what they do. And so it informs a lot of what I saw when watching the movie, and I was like, I want to know the behind the scenes of all of this. And I was able to do that when reading the book. So I was very satisfied. Now I've started a book called The Assassin's Apprentice, which is the first book of the Farseer trilogy by Rob and Hobb, and that was kind of a book exchange that I did with a subscriber. I sent them the original Red Rising trilogy of Red Rising, Golden Sun, and Morning Star, and then they sent me that trilogy. And so I told them, I was like, hey, I got to finish Dune first, and I've been reading a little slower than normal in terms of the amount of time I've committed to reading. And so, yeah, I finished that, though. I finished Dune, and now I'm reading Assassin's Apprentice, and it's already a cool world. I like, in just like the opening 20 pages or something like that, has been kind of an exploration of like how someone gets a name and how they live up to their name, which is much more of like a noun or adjective based exploration in that particular book, with people called like patience and chivalry and, you know, penitence and all that kind of stuff. But it is interesting, the idea of like how do you live up to a name, or how does what you do become your name. That kind of thought process was interesting. So I'm excited to dive into that book. I like the writing so far, and I want to jump in more. I still am only at the very beginnings of the Mind Management graphic novel, which means I haven't even jumped into the Harrow County graphic novel, both of which I grabbed because of the board games. And I think that's really cool that normally graphic novels are something that I really, really gravitate to pretty much since I was in college and my graduate program. But it's nice that like board games are bringing me to other books or stories that I haven't read yet. So I kind of like that. Excited to jump into that and read those. Let's see. Yeah, so those are the graphic novels I haven't touched yet. I need to go back and look. I know that BRZRKR, also done by Matt Kent, who did Mind Management, but he partnered with Keanu Reeves for BRZRKR. I have the first volume of that. And I think the second volume is coming out at some point, maybe like October, November, or something like that. I also need to be mindful of the new volume of Saga. I already know that there are some smaller issues out of Saga, but I generally wait until they're kind of in those like 6-issue volumes because I like that thicker like book quality. Not the full omnibuses, but just those smaller, thin volumes. So I need to wait to see when the first one of those is coming out. I'm excited for that. And well, I say the first. It's the first after the hiatus that they took. They did 9 full volumes of Saga, like 2 or 3 omnibuses worth of material and story. But then they took a hard break. Both the writer and the artist kind of shared in their need to decompress from the series, and they're back to it now. So I'm excited for when that comes. Let's see. Those are the books I've been looking at. Yeah. So I also very quickly kind of like speed read. There were parts that I skipped, but I kind of speed read back through the Bourne Identity, which is the first of the trilogy. Which if you've watched the movies, and if you like the movies, and if you like spy books, I highly encourage you to read the Bourne trilogy. Like, read the actual books, because they're really nothing like the movies. They have a, like, what's it called? Not stealth, not surveillance. They have a, what's the term? Not intelligence officer, like espionage. I can't think of the word I'm trying to think of. Anyways, they have like a spy, and he's forgotten his memory. He doesn't know who he is. That's about it. It's in a different time period. The movies are in modern day, and this is like, Cold War period after Vietnam. It's a different time period, very different time period, and also it's just it's got a particular additional main plot point to the books that I think would have made better movies. I like the movies. I think Jason Bourne is a cool character. I think Matt Damon did a good job with it. I think they're very good, popcorn and candy, sit and enjoy action movies. They're good movies, but I think that the books are stellar. I think they're really cool novels with a very compelling antagonist that is not the United States government. Though they are aggressive people, even still in the books. So I wish that, I would love to see that actual story come to life either on the screen or in some other adaptation, because I really do like that trilogy. I speed read through the first of those books in the nights whenever I was holding Reese over like the last month before I went on my trip. That's probably the last book that I've gone into though. So finished Dune, about to start, starting Assassin's Apprentice. Need to finish those 2 graphic novels, and excited about Saga and BRZRKR, and then I might keep jumping into Bourne trilogy. Let's see, TV shows. I have jumped back into 2 shows that I have already watched, and it's just been a while. I'm rewatching Black Mirror slowly because I love Black Mirror, and I heard that they're coming back for like a season 5 or a season 6. So that was also a show that was kind of on a hiatus. The insanity of international and national politics, and then also the pandemic all around 2019 and 2020 and stuff like that. I think the creator said it doesn't feel right to just double down on how bad the world could be, because it didn't feel good at the time. So, but it's been enough distance from that time period in which I think they're planning on bringing Black Mirror back. So I'm wanting to work through that series and rewatch all of those. So I got to finish up that. I'm only in like season 1 right now. I haven't even breached into season 2 of 4 or 5 seasons. But I'm working back through Black Mirror. And then, let's see, Suits is another one. I'm in season 2 now, the very beginning of season 2. But Suits is another one that I just really enjoyed back in the day, and it's been so long. And I never actually finished the series. It's not one that I actually went back to or maintained all the way through. I think I stopped in season 3 or something like that. Maybe season 4. But I just enjoy the tension of that. That was a very loud engine. Such a loud engine. Not entirely sure if it's off the street yet. It's not. It's definitely not. It's so loud. It's so loud. Okay, I think it's maybe gone. So Suits is one that I have started to rewatch again. Suits, that... I think, are those really the only TV shows I've been focusing on? I think so. I think those are really the only TV shows I've been watching. There's some other ones I've been interested in. Oh, Fboy Island. Fboy Island season 2 came out, and I like absolutely binged that with my sister and my mom. I don't like reality dating shows, but something about that show just it makes me so happy. It's probably the fact that it's much more self-aware than most dating shows as to how stupid it is. Nikki Glaser as a host is fantastic, but I genuinely love that show. I can't wait for them to do more of it. It's so much fun. It's so much fun. The editing in that show is brilliant. It's so good. Oh my goodness. Sad trombone. Love you, Tom. If you haven't watched it, it's on HBO Max, but you should watch Fboy Island. Season 1 and 2 is just, they're hysterical. Watch them with people because they're funnier to enjoy with people. I think that's probably part of the draw or pool of reality TV shows, which is not a genre that I genuinely care about at all, or generally care about at all. But man, Fboy Island was so much fun to binge watch. That was just a delight. That was one of the best parts of my vacation. Even though I watched the final couple episodes at Gen Con. After Gen Con, once I was already at the house with Jesse. But oh my gosh, just so much fun. Oh my gosh. I'm so tired. So tired. Let's see. What else? Movies. I really want to watch Bullet Train. I need to find a way to watch that. I also really want to watch Top Gun, the second Top Gun, which I know has been out for a while now, but I haven't watched it. I recently just watched Prey in the last few days, the kind of prequel Predator movie. I really enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun to watch that. That was, a nice diversion from responsibilities. So that was good. Other movies. I'm in the midst, I started Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I wasn't in the right headspace to finish it. But I want to finish that one. I just need to be awake and in the mood to have my brain think about stuff while watching a movie, which is normally how I like to watch movies, but I've been so tired recently that I kind of want to give it what it deserves, which I haven't had the brain for yet. On vacation, I did watch Thor: Love and Thunder, and I kind of feel the same way about it that I felt about Multiverse of Madness. I think I'm getting a little bit tapped out on MCU stuff. Not really satisfied at all with that one. I just thought it was kind of boring. What else? Movies. I really want to watch the Unbearable Weight of Impossible Talent or whatever. The movie that's about Nicolas Cage. I really do want to watch that. I know it's got Pedro Pascal and somebody else in it. But yeah, that Nick Cage movie looks hilarious. I would like to watch that for sure. I also want to watch Nope. I'm like 2/3 of the way through Us. I don't know why I never finished it, but I loved Get Out and I liked Us a lot. Even though horror is not normally my thing. I was kind of worried. Maybe that's why I didn't finish it. Is because I was watching it late at night one night. It's just horror is not my thing, and I work my way through horror movies when I think they're going to be really, really good. And Us was good, and it was worth it to work it through. But I think I got tired, and I haven't gone back to it. But I want to watch Nope. I'm excited about that. There's a couple other movies that I'm really excited about that my brain's not letting me identify. But yeah, so those are movies I've been working on, TV shows I've been working on, books I've been working on. Video games, I have played a little bit of Rocket League and Warzone recently, which I haven't done in months, and that's been fun. I need to be mindful about that though, because those are both easily games that I can lose time in very quickly, just like Rainbow Six Siege. But it's been nice to every now and then just kind of stop and play some video games, which I haven't done for a while. Really, I haven't done that since I played Horizon Forbidden West, and then previous to that, since I played Bloodborne. Those are the two most recent kind of time sinks that I put into video games. But there's definitely some video games that I'm always on the lookout for in terms of ones that I've been wanting to play, but I haven't been doing too much in there. Board games. Let's not talk about board games. What else? I think that's kind of the rest of the media that music. How could I forget music? I absolutely love my Discover Weekly playlist on Spotify. You know, at first you're like, I don't want it just there for a week. I want to be able to like find it and play those songs again. But really, at least the way I listen to music, when I like a song, I usually really like it and I play it multiple times to the point where if it's after like a week or 2 weeks, I'm probably playing it too much by then. So the idea that I'm freshly getting a new playlist of stuff that it really does feel like Spotify has a good algorithm in determining what I would like, because I've really enjoyed like the last 4 or 5 Discover Weekly playlists quite a bit. So I've been listening a lot to that. Really enjoying those. The only thing that's different about how I listen to music typically is I really do like listening to full albums instead of just singles. So I still try to find those every now and then where I find a new album that I'm kind of like listening to the whole album because I enjoy that. But the singles that are on the Discover Weekly, I've been having a really good time with those. Let's see. I think that's kind of it. Yeah. Man. Coming home from 3 weeks on the road, family full of COVID. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. But all of that to say, love you guys. Hope you have a good one. Let me know what books you're reading, what music you're listening to, what TV shows you're watching, what movies you like right now, and what video games you're playing. Let me know all the other media. All the other media. All right. Have a good one.